Yeah, I was getting ready. Zach's like, you got your
Yep,
Gfuel? Already drank it all. Ready, hyped. Let's go.
exactly. It's one of those days where I'm like, oh fuck, everything's going right today. I feel fantastic. I got a text this morning. Tattoo guy's like, let's finish it. I'm like, yes. I'm like, okay, podcast. I get 4 emails, 4 messages setting up guests and everything else. And I'm like, yes. Merch drops and it works perfect. And I'm like, yes. Look at this shit. This shit is fucking fire. We got a champion RMTS fucking hoodie. This thing is so fucking comfortable and so
That
fucking
actually
warm.
looks really nice too. I like
Yeah,
the subtlety of the stuff going on in the
exactly.
background.
I wanted a nice basic one, so we have this. We have
Hmm.
a like kind of I want to be comfortable and just throw on a hoodie, like positive vibes hoodie, and we got a streetwear hoodie. So I kind of went through all vibes. The streetwear hoodie's a nice dry fit too, so even if you're going and doing shit, you still can be comfortable. So I wanted to go all 3 different weights and kind of just hang out and relax. And
Yeah.
this one is really really thick though. I'm really
I
surprised
was,
at how thick it
but
is.
because you're Zach and things get a little funky around you, it's May. What are we doing releasing sweaters in May?
I always wear hoodies.
Yeah,
What are you
true.
talking about?
So like if it's always hoodie weather for you, got options.
Exactly, exactly. And in all honesty, if anybody's going to buy a hoodie, they're just going to buy a hoodie regardless of what time it is.
Hmm.
I don't know how weird people are in fucking Washington, but everybody wears hoodies all the time. If it's a little bit breezy that day, throw on a light hoodie. If it's super fucking windy or rainy, grab the heavy hoodie. It just always is, and it seems like people even do that during the winter. They'll just skip the coat, wear the hoodie. So, you know,
That's
we
because
got
we don't
hoodies.
get like super duper cold, so you don't have to go like too many layers. Just got your everything hoodie and then maybe like one bad sweater when it gets
Well,
snowy.
it seems like that's exactly like our climates are rather similar, where you have
Hmm.
the rain all the time. We 80% of the time, if there's a storm, it's fucking raining, everything's flooded, everything's gone, or we have a drought and everything's dead. It's one or the other. Everything's hell. It's just like fall at times, but I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm having a really good kind of month, and honestly, the numbers show it. The shows show it. I think it's showing that I'm in a really good mood. So I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
You also
So go
got
check out
your
the
head
merch.
shaved, like
Yeah,
all
my
that.
hair broke. So I
Your hair
shaved
broke.
my yeah. So because I had a I have really, really kind of curly ass hair that at the end gets really oily, which is great because then it doesn't break. But the bottoms of it dry out really quickly and frizz at the end. So I get massive fucking split ends because I get a fro essentially without
Yeah.
it being super oily and stuff. And then the bottoms of my hair dry out too. So it's like if one side's not dry, the other is. So it ends up breaking and looking like shit. So
That's
with
weird.
growing my hair out for 3 years, it just got dry, cracky, and breaky. So I fucking
Hmm.
just shaved it all off. It's like, okay, it's probably done growing anyway. Let's just restart and go again. I,
All right.
exactly. Like I wanted to make sure everything was good and kind of grow everything back in and kind of get it all cleaned up. And at some points, you end up fucking it up when you give yourself haircuts. So just shaved it all off, got rid of it, restart, go again.
Restart while everything's on the up. Yeah.
Mhm. Seems like that's the best way to go about it mentally is like if everything's shit and you're just like, oh, let me just try everything to see if I can get something to work.
Hmm.
That is never a level of success. If you are so fucked up that you have to restart everything in your life, you're an absolute dipshit buffoon by this point. It's bad. It's not how you should look at life at all. For
Oh, that messed up your mic.
uh, it messed up my mic.
We're back. We're
Oh,
back. You might
or
bump
did it just?
something.
It probably played my actual Windows through the mic itself. That was
That's what it
probably
sounded
what it
like.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just muted that. That was my fault.
Sick.
More retardation. But yeah, no, it's been weird how good everything's going. So thank you guys because we are almost up to 1,000 subscribers. We're reaching 100,000 views every single month, which is fantastic. So thank you guys. We're seeing more and more subscriptions and stuff as well. So if you guys want to join the group, I believe this is what we have it set as, and I don't think it works properly on YouTube. So let me just say this now. The view
Great.
numbers do not work when you go from membership to public. I don't understand. It resets the view numbers, and that's kind of stupid to me. But So if you want to see these episodes before they are posted, because obviously sometimes we bulk record and stuff like that, become a member down in the comments and in the subscription box. I think it's like $5 and you get the episodes new. You get all of the information about the episodes and everything else. If you subscribe, I think for $10, you could either be a small squirt or a big dog. You choose. Make sure to go check those out. You don't have to give us super thanks. Dude, this dude, Dark Knight, every single week is dropping super thanks. Like, thank you. What I don't understand.
Yeah, he was doing that on my videos. I'm like, that's too much. I feel bad. And then he went over here. I was like, okay, fine.
Oh, like, thank you. Thank you. That's insane. I don't understand. But yeah, things have been going absolutely fantastic. It seems like we're kind of understanding exactly how this thing grows and what it does. And we're getting there. So
Yeah,
how's
what's that
everything
on your
been for you,
arm? You
bud?
just, well, I was like, what's that on your
Uh,
arm? You just did that and it
uh,
looks
so
all nice.
I got the entire tattoo finished and shaded in.
I'm surprised how quick that came together because you were just talking about it a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah.
it feels like it's going to be a more bigger thing, but you got that tattoo style down.
Yeah. No, I drew it up literally I think before the show, if I remember correctly, when I first mentioned it. I messaged the tattoo artist because I tried to find a new one to see if I could find somebody who's closer and stuff like that. This dude is so fucking fantastic. He sat there and just bullshitted with me. I think he did the entire outline in an hour and a half. We did the shading today. It took like 2.5 hours just because my skin is really fucking aggravated because we waited 2 weeks exactly and got done the rest of the shading and everything else. And it came together really, really nicely. And honestly, the art is fantastic. He
Yeah,
took
that
my
looks great.
drawing and fucking cleaned it all up and just redid it slightly. And it looks fantastic. So I'm really, really fucking happy with it.
Nice.
Yeah, no, everything's been great. How's everything going with you, bud? It's
Uh,
been 2 weeks.
yeah. No?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't even know, man. Because like, yeah, we did the two, and then we buffered, and then now we're here. So that's where I'm at because March always sucks for Pokemon. April always sucks for Pokemon. Most of May always sucks for Pokemon. So there's nothing for me to do.
Yeah, I was surprised. Normally, I'm the one that's like, "Hey, when are we doing this?" You're like, "Hey, when?" And let's schedule a time so that way I can just figure out something to do because I'm bored. I'm like,
Hmm.
"Yeah." It's really nice when somebody's as excited about the thing that you're doing as you are because I think like you're getting there and it's cool. But yeah, no, it's been interesting because Pokemon is absolutely fucking dead.
Hmm.
It seems like everything, especially with the stuff with iPhones and stuff recently, it's getting to be a really weird place.
The algorithms, like,
Yeah.
it just spread everything out. We have, the dead internet theory. Well, not even theory, just internet's dead right now.
I
No
don't
one knows
even
what they're doing.
understand how Nintendo and iPhone and everything is interacting currently because what was it like a month and a half ago? Yuzu got banned, which is the Switch emulator and everything else that everybody was using to run Switch emulators and
Yeah.
Switch games. It was about a month and a half ago. And then iPhone finally clears after what 16 years of iPhones,
Hmm.
emulators being allowed on your phone. And I'm so confused why these two things happen back to back and backwards.
I've got a theory about that one because it seems like the ultimate Nintendo honeypot. They just built a really strong case against Yuzu. They're like, hey, you can't monetize this. You can't even like Patreon, paywall, and update any monetization that's going to like emulate our software and our games and is kind of built off of our stuff. You're not allowed to do. So they're kind of like winning and skirting around that whole Sony thing. But now with this, is like, wait a second. There's like hundreds of millions of people that are now pirating Game Boy games and N64 games and all these older games, and some of the apps are like trying to get in development. Some of them are even paywalled. So I think Nintendo just has like, here's the ultimate case. We have 50 million reports of piracy. The second iPhone opened this up, I think it's a honeypot.
Or do you think that the new thing that they're going to do is they're going to kill all of these emulators or have one? Like they are going to purchase one,
Mm.
which is probably going to be the end goal. You already see this on the Switch itself. They have an emulator for N64. They have an emulator for GBA titles. It's already done by Nintendo. There's going to end up being a Nintendo emulator on your phone, and they might end up dropping the Switch after Switch 2.
I'm pretty sure the Nintendo Switch is going to be backwards compatible.
that might be possible too, but
And then
I
like
don't
you already have Nintendo Switch Online, so that's the only reason people are keeping with it is because you have all the games and then the expansion for
exactly.
N64. So
But
Nintendo's weird. They're allergic to money. Like the obvious
yeah,
play is release every game, bring back the eShop, make GameCube work on the Switch, and you make billions of dollars. So I don't think they have any money incentive here. I think they're just making it to where it's like, yeah, guess what? Everyone on Twitter is admitting to piracy. That's how bad it is. That's why all emulators need
but
to get shut
the
down.
line the lines are not so defined that it's not it's hard to understand exactly what is a problem and what is not. And you might be able to describe this a little bit. I sent you a video this week done by Mudahar, and I was like, "This is crazy." Some people are going to jail because of Pokemon being modded in and hacked in Japan. Yeah, Wolf, you probably should be in jail too, but technically you stole money. Haha, sorry, get you in there for the clicks. Um, but with this, it seems like everything's in the gray area. The console itself, so the emulator might be the most illegal thing that you're doing,
Yes.
which is the hardest part to understand and kind of grasp because everybody's like, oh, you get cease and desist letters from your service provider if you download a game. It's like, but I own the game. And that's somehow like a catch 22 for a lot of it. And it's
Yeah.
hard to understand.
Well, the thing is, there like a lot of this goes on like super ancient precedent that was set like by legal decisions. Sony lost, and that's why emulators are legal. However, there was also a case for like a right to a second copy, so you have a digital backup. So you have a right to a digital backup of your physical hardware, but
Mm.
you have to make it yourself. But you can't do that without an emulator, and places like Japan, that's illegal. So, you have to like hack the thing you're not allowed to hack. You break your TOS to then rip it yourself, and now you have your exact copy of your exact game cartridge. So if you download it, that's not a second copy. That's wrong.
So it seems like the availability or the dongle that they used to sell, because I believe that's how they used to even do YouTube and stuff back in the day before the capture cards on the 3DS, was they would use a dongle that would attach to your computer where you plugged in the fucking cartridges and stuff like that. They were
Hmm.
using that to rip the game, and that's, oh, you're supposed to buy your own instead
Yeah.
of, I have the game already. I'm allowed to have a digital copy. Let me download it.
And also like depending on that, there's also like DRM stuff that gets in the way, so you don't just like it's not that simple for modern stuff.
Well, with even with PS3 and PS4 games, you had games like Fallout New Vegas where if you didn't even purchase a new copy, you could not play the game.
Hmm.
I purchased a Fallout New Vegas copy, and it's like, "Oh, you've never owned this game before, you cannot play it."
Yeah. That's also goes back to counterfeiting things. So like if you just put a counterfeit disc into a PlayStation, just say nah. And then there's also like weird bypassing devices that you would have to use for like the Nintendo, Super Nintendo and stuff.
Yeah, no. That's where this gets really weird and really gray area. It's like, okay, so we have a legal right to have a available second copy if this thing breaks. I bought this for life. But
Hmm.
now digital games and the way that games work, they are removing your access to them within years now.
Yeah.
It's we're removing them from the store. So we both have arguments, both standards.
Hmm.
The emulators and the companies both have standards that are being disrespected at this point. We
Yeah,
are
and
not
there's
being
also
respected as consumers, and prices are going up.
yeah.
So we're all downloading shit. We're all making it available to ourselves and other people. But at the same time, that's not the right answer either. It
Hmm.
seems like as a whole, nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Everybody's standing on shit that they don't even fully understand. And everybody's getting fucking confused because none of it fucking makes sense.
That's
And
because all
now,
these cases are outdated. Like the technology has gotten way too insane for this to have ever been a consideration in the 90s or whenever this happened.
and as a whole, it seems like Nintendo is kind of jumping in and trying to slit throats, and they're not right either. Like, are they right and standing on moral ground? Yes. They're saying, hey, you cannot illegally download this game without paying for it too, which is probably the standard that they would stand behind if that's what they were offered.
Hmm.
If they said, okay, when you purchase a game, you get a computer copy that you're able to download, I think most fucking companies would be like, sure. Remember when Blu-ray discs came out and they're like, yeah, you get an HD digital copy. Nobody gave a fuck. Every single fucking DVD for $5 more had a digital copy. I bet you if you released every game right now for $5 more and there was 2 copies of each game, how many fucking digital copies would be purchased? Every single fucking one.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. It fixes the entire problem. Just go the DVD and Blu-ray route and just release digital copies with everything. Create a Nintendo District fucking emulator if that's what you want to do. Sell that for $20. Sell that for $30. And literally put your hands up. That's all you have to do. Everybody now is starting to get computers in their house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying like bullshit basic HP computers that I bought from a mom and pop shop that's been 15 years old. People are now building computers. What's so bad about people just allowing you to use your fucking copy of whatever the hell you want to download, whether that's Scarvy or fucking Diamond and Pearl? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit's already there. You're not going to be able to scrub the internet from this. You can't. So how do you fix it? That's how you fix it.
Well, then
HD
they lose
digital
out on
downloads.
console profits though, because then you can get mom and pop's emulator that some dude brewed up, and then you can buy just the game from
Then
Nintendo.
then you're breaking copyright. Make
Yeah,
it so that way the copyright title that you download on your computer has to be used on your device.
but then
Your
why are
your
emulators legal?
That's what I'm saying is they're attacking the download and distribution of the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now finally they're attacking the emulator with Yuzu. So flip it. Stop attacking the game downloads. Give them $5. This code is only available to you. If you share this, it breaks. Neither one works. Sell it for $5 more with each copy, and then sell an emulator. That's all you have to do, and it fucking runs.
Yeah.
Make it a monthly service. You already have it on the Switch. Just make it a monthly service on the computer. Bam, everything's gone. Everything's done. You break, you that's literally what everybody was saying to Xbox when they started lowering their sales profits behind PlayStation. They said you lost already. You
Mhm.
lost. You lost during the end of the PS4 generation. Now you're losing completely. So, as a whole, change your fucking business model. You're fucking wrong. Flip it. Nintendo should do it.
Except they're allergic to money. Like I said, they just don't want any kind of computer involvement, which is weird because yeah, like if Epic Games makes their own launcher and store and like Steam is also a thing, like Nintendo definitely has the power to do any of that.
And even for all of you ROM hackers out there, I understand Verlis is going to say, "Oh, this is bad." I know your stance, but then you have the workshops and everything else where you can actually incentivize people to use your fucking game and use your IP, and they can make money, and you could make money too. It's not fucking rocket science. The shit is fucking laid out for you. This is how you fix it. It is you incentivize your company and you incentivize your fans to make this thing bigger, and Pokemon pops again. That's how you fix it. You incentivize the fan base. It's all you got to do. It's not hard.
Or not Nintendo. Japan just has that different culture though. Like there's no fair use laws. They are very protective and respectful of copyrights. Like if you build something, if you create anything, that is yours and other people do not have the right to modify or infringe it in any capacity. I like that. I
Where
agree
does
with that.
Palworld come from? Is that a Japan game or is it a
Yeah,
United States
that's
game?
Japan developers.
How does that not cross like that gray area of copyright though?
We already talked about it because like Nintendo would have already taken them down. So it's like, oh
I
wow,
know,
you made
no, I
Arc.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree there. I'm just saying like that gray area of what is copyright and what is not. It's like they have the steps to fix this and handle the solution on the problem. Is just to first party it. Why? Like we're seeing a bigger problem with copyright right now in front of them. But yet
Hmm.
they're targeting Yuzu, which is not the answer. Get rid of all of the emulators. Get rid of all of them. Target them. You already are probably putting money on one of these apps on the iPhone. I guarantee it. They have purchased
Hmm.
one of them or they are an investor in one of them, which is why they're able to sell them, not just free.
I mean that could be the other long con that like this isn't a honeypot, but then Nintendo comes in and be like, no, this is the only official emulator. Everything
Yep.
else needs to be cleared out. And
I
then
would
like
assume it's going to be rather similar to what they did when they released the remote control for PlayStation and Xbox
I'm
on
just saying like
mobile.
how much money could that make where like you just have your phone, it's a Game Boy, And then you turn it sideways into Game Boy Advance, and then you click on the top right corner, and it's just a shop of every Game Boy game for $5. Buy, 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 buy.
How many games do you buy?
However fast my finger
Yeah,
clicks them.
everybody would. And if you make it so way you have a download code when you purchase Scarlet and Violet 2 Electric Boogaloo, when you have to buy that game or the new DLC, you have a copy that fucking randomly downloads on your fucking Nintendo launcher on your fucking $2,000 PC.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how nice that would be, especially for content creators?
Yeah,
All of us
because
have it
then you don't have to
available to
fiddle
us.
with all the
Yeah,
capture devices and stuff. It's just already baked in.
yeah. And guess what, Nintendo? Then you don't have to hear our mouths about saying, "Oh, this game's not optimized." It's literally perfect. You want to know how it's perfect? Because you made it to run on the hardware that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of worrying about, oh, is somebody using a Switch Lite? Okay, we have to play everything down to the shittiest version of everything. No, you have to hold the standard. I just feel like they're owning this.
And that's also an interesting thing because like the Steam Deck, you can just run Nintendo Switch on that, and if
Hmm.
you do silliness with it, but also it's effectively just like a computer that's a console. So that means Nintendo can also
It's
change
both.
their entire yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like then Nintendo can change it
Yeah,
because
I
like
like the
okay,
same thing.
not every kid has a console, so therefore putting things on like a Nintendo compute like for a Nintendo launcher on a computer might hurt accessibility. But then you just make your console a mini computer that's like the Steam Deck that it does both, and then
Exactly. Especially when the form factor is already shown and it's there. It seems like there. It seems like this is too stupid for this not to be their where they're pushing. The Switch is not as big of a change from the 3DS as everybody perceives it to be, and it's not that big of a change from the Wii U either.
mhm.
It's like a shutter step from where they were. They just combined the two projects and said, okay, well, we're good. So the Switch 2 or whatever the hell is coming next, the remix or whatever fucking weird word that they decide
Mhm.
to throw on this thing, if they're going to step up and try and step into equal the PS5 Slim and the Xbox X, a pocket PC makes sense.
It makes
Availability
sense, but
for an
Nintendo
emulator
hasn't
makes
made
sense.
sense ever. They just like make banger stuff that gets frustrating where it's like you could even do better, but like it's so good it's hard to complain. Because at some point it's like when are we just being too entitled? Where it's like we've always bought consoles throughout our life. Nintendo Switch is definitely worth the money. You sit
Oh,
on
it
that thing forever.
absolutely
Yeah,
is.
and then same thing happens with Nintendo Switch 2, and the same thing happens with like even though it's frustrating as a consumer, there is a point where it's like that is a lot of development work. That is a lot they have to do if they're making for both things. Like there's a lot of murkiness. That's like, okay, how much are we entitled to as consumers? How much does a developer have to do to like maintain all of this? But then you think of, like the legal fees and how much work they're already doing to just push that stuff away. It's like there's some kind of equilibrium here that's definitely achievable, but mm,
And it's going to be interesting to see what happens because honestly, I don't understand how you go from Yuzu being banned to iPhone approving something that was not approved ever in the Apple Store. It was removed. It was banned. You had to develop third-party fucking launchers to enable it before. You had to break your TOS on your cell phone, which was a
mhm.
$1,200 cell phone, to be able to play Game Boy games. I don't. They have to be a part of it. They have to. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Mhm. I'm betting Honey Pot though.
What do they get? What price do you put on Pokemon Red
I don't
from
know, but it just
1998?
means like they just secure the market. It's like, hey, you still have to just do our stuff and buy our stuff and get our online service if you want to play these games. I
But
think it's also for the greater cause because like again, I want to see emulation gone. I want to see piracy and all this stuff gone. Like you can't ever kill it and
piracy, I
people will still.
completely agree.
Well, I still agree on emulation. All right,
Yeah,
that's my still thing is like emulation, but like, so the only way you can do that is by building the largest case ever.
but it's a case where nobody is going to be charged with anything. If there's 50 million people who are downloading actively right now,
Hmm.
how many of those people are actually going to be charged?
How many people got hit when iTunes with like all the stealing music or whatever, the Napster thing or whatever?
with LimeWire and everything else.
Yeah, where it's
How
like, oh,
many
some
cease and
kid.
desist letters did everybody get?
Yeah, because like you hear it was like, oh, some kid downloaded it and then they got like sued for $20,000. Like, I don't know how many of those actually happened or went through, but
Like I remember back in the day, I was always told, okay, downloading murky. Like
mm-hmm,
you're able to do it because you're allowed to own it digitally, and this is a gray area and stuff like that, which is the logical answer still now. The problem is sharing it. Okay, so if I never share anything, why am I receiving cease and desist letters? I think the problem is they attack the ISPs.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
exactly. Because like the ISP will ping you and be like, no,
Why are you downloading this?
yeah.
Why the fuck you looking at what I'm doing? Suck my balls.
The funny thing is, Linus Tech Tips, they were doing the WAN show and they talked about it's like, yeah, I needed to get a thing and I was trying to play a game and I accidentally did it on like our company's Wi-Fi and Comcast hit us up. So like they pay attention.
Yeah. And it doesn't make any fucking sense. Why? Why are they legally allowed to watch everything you do on your computer without you signing the rights over to it? Oh, so that way you could sell it and make money off of the ads that are placed on my computer daily? Suck a dick. It's fucking insane. They're allowed to watch you. They're allowed to do every single thing that you do. And then they're able to make it so they affect what you're allowed to download. I feel like they are attacked. They are talked to by the people that own the ISP, not
Hmm.
or the ISPs, owns the companies and stuff like that. It's the only thing that makes sense. Back in the day, you used to receive fucking notes for downloading 10 songs on fucking LimeWire. Cease and desist, you downloaded it from this copyright owner. The fuck? I go on YouTube right now, I can download it for free. What are you talking about? How does that make sense? Make it make sense because it doesn't. There's no hole anymore.
Hmm.
If I can pay $19.99 to download anything essentially on YouTube ever, why? Why does an ISP, depending on the website I go on, get pissy with me? Doesn't make sense. Just like this bitch that was in the fucking comments this week didn't fucking make sense. First off, the fact that so many people genuinely don't understand when they're watching a podcast that we may or may not be talking about our personal story without saying, hey, this is my story is absolutely butt fucking retarded.
Yeah, you need to pull up the
And
comment because like
yeah, I'm
there's everyone's
scrolling.
just
I'm
like, why is
scrolling.
the guy wearing collar? And then like the haters that have all been like mega shadow banned on my channel, they're just like, oh, a place where I can flame Verlis again and be an idiot. It's like, okay, yeah,
Oh yeah.
I don't care about
Flame
those
away.
comments.
Flame away, dipshit. Keep going. You're just pushing the fucking channel. Eh,
And you're also definitely going to make sense this time.
yeah. So I think this is a dude. He's the asshole. Sorry, this is talking about the cake drama. For some reason, the cake story that we made on Nerth readout was the one that blew up. I think it's like 10,000 views or so. He's the asshole. Just be happy she got you a cake. There's a lot of people that even don't get justifying as I wanted when you stated you prefer the chocolate cake and you have set the precedent that vanilla cake was fine was the issue. You can be honest with someone without making them feel like shit as well, but actively engaging in a fight, knowing it's not a big deal, this could have been avoided. You're dipshit. You missed the entire sauce, buddy. You genuinely don't even understand. You've probably been gaslighted your entire life. Shut up. Okay, where the hell is? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Is there a way
But
to
yeah,
open
like
Schwartz
so it's like,
comment?
yeah, we already like dunked on that. And of course people like that was overwhelmingly like, you're in the wrong on Reddit. So it's like anyone that finds out could be like, yeah, I'm in the same camp. That NPC, like it's weird. I think everyone under like sub 85 IQ all channels and shares that. So they're on lower bandwidth
Yep.
and there's a lot of them that are fighting for it at the same time. And then you get some weird hive mind where it's like there's something fascinating about a brain that only makes the same thoughts. Like if I say cheating's wrong in Pokemon, every idiot goes, but you don't have to curve your own chess pieces in chess. It's like, not in the rules. You're an idiot. And how does everyone come to that same conclusion? Like, the brains are similar. It's scary.
It seems like everybody gets so fucking consumed by every single little thing that goes on on the screen. And the fact that you're so consumed by what the fuck is on the screen makes you fucking fold the person that was built. The person that you were, the essence that you were, makes you so convoluted and complicated that you just let it go. You're like, what is a
It's cognitive
person?
dissonance.
So this bitch, oh, I hope you fucking come back. I hope you fucking
Oh,
watch
like
these
please don't
shorts.
say that a third time because like YouTube not gonna like that.
Okay, is that big enough for you to see?
I think I can just full screen this. Yeah.
Okay, so she says, just eat the cake and shut it.
Your camera's. Oh wait, no, I think is that just how full screen is?
Yep, it's weird.
Oh yeah, okay, full screen stuttering. Okay, we're good.
Yep. So it says you must. I said you must gaslight gatekeeping girl boss. Find the local mental health facility and get some help for NPD or BPD because bitch, you need some help. She said no because you sounded very ungrateful. Motherfucker, not my story. Let me say it again. Not my fucking story. Not Verlis's story. Not their story. Not our story at all. You didn't get the flavor you wanted. Your response seemed very childish. And because I don't agree with your video, I'm a gaslighter and a girl boss. I'd say the same thing if a girl said it. You seem to be an immature partner. If I wanted, let's say, red velvet and I got strawberry, I wouldn't complain about it, let alone make a video about it and post it on the internet for all to see. That's my thought on it. If you're proud of how you because YouTube is retarded. Then this chick was all over the comments and it was fucking hilarious. Why should he accept anything because someone else got nothing? Should DV victims be happy because someone wants them when other people have nobody? Absolutely not. That's an extreme version of the situation. You don't just get to accept anything because you've eaten it before. She was in the wrong. She didn't even make a chocolate cake, which is just as easy as vanilla. That is the most basic answer I've ever heard in my life. Obviously, she fucking exaggerated it, but so my response back to the original chick, oh, you're so kind and smart. First off, it's not my story. It's showcasing absolute insane behavior from Reddit stories. The fact that you think it's mine proves even more you probably should let your man lead and get him the cake he asked for. Second off, this is my job. Interacting with comments makes your idiocy show more to more people. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. I'm going to keep stating it until it becomes a thing because it's fucking hilarious.
That's definitely gaslighting if you're just like, yeah, just eat the cake. Yeah, then what happens with the next thing where it's just like, oh, the narcissism be like, I ignored your request. I sprinkled in what I want because it's
Yep.
me now. And then it just keeps on happening. And then it's like, wait, now you have a chain of changing what this person wants and perceptions around it. That's gaslighting.
Like it seems like these dumb motherfuckers don't understand what gaslighting is. Gaslighting is I don't care enough about your opinions, your thoughts, your feelings, and I'm going to make you feel like it is acceptable for me not to accept your feelings. I'm going to make it so that way you no longer give a fuck about what the fuck you're doing with your life and whatever lie I decide to tell you, I'm going to make you feel like it's real and I'm going to lie to you about absolutely everything. That is gaslighting.
And I'm not going to
Gate
let you have anything you want. And I'm going to tweak it
Yep.
just a little bit because then
To
that
make you feel
means
like a bad person because you
exactly.
said
Because then,
something about it.
yeah, because then you get upset and it's like, you're the one that's upset over a 95% delivery. That completely washes the 5%. No one wants accountability. Society.
So, do you know what gatekeeping is?
Yeah.
Gatekeeping is when you go through and you make it so way every little thing that you want is guarded off. Oh, I want sex tonight. Oh, were you a good boy this week? Motherfucker, that's not how this works. This is a relationship. I asked for something specific. Just because I'm not a good boy right now doesn't mean shit's not okay. Like you can't gate off everything in a relationship or a situation just because you're fucking in a bad mood. I don't care. You want me to listen to you? What if I'm in a bad mood? Do I get to say no? I don't care.
Ring the bell and get your cheese, man.
And girl boss, no guy wants a girl boss. We don't want to say yes, mommy. Let me lay on my back. Let me lick your pussy lips because they're like teabagging. I promise you, no guy wants to be dominated if they're a genuine, actual dude who wants things in life. Don't treat this world like everybody needs to be at your beckoning call because you are some big bad bitch. Nobody cares. Just like me. I'll be fucking honest. Nobody knows who the fuck Hot Load Zach is, but guess what? There's more people listening to me than there is to you. Dark Moon General, who the fuck do you command? Your command of fucking cats? Are you so consumed by a dude who's like, oh yeah, dude, I'm a good fucking dude. I take care of things. I tell you a story from fucking Reddit, and all of a sudden you're so fucking consumed that it's my story that I'm an asshole. Motherfucker, you want to hear some crazy shit? If I said I want this, it gets done the way I ask it to be done because there's a level of respect in relationships for that to fucking happen. That's how it's supposed to be. Guess what? If you want to make sure you have the shit done on your honey-do list, maybe you should listen to your significant other instead of being a dipshit.
And the deeper you get in that comment, the more you're just like, this is from someone that isn't in a relationship and has never had a good one. And
No,
it
you
seems
want
like a certain parent was missing from the household.
oh, absolutely. You come from a fatherless home. You probably sit and make Pornhub videos of your 600-pound land whale ass sitting there rubbing your clam, hoping that everybody sees it. And I promise you, the 5 people that will be excited about it will be dudes from Nepal that will never be able to see you ever. That's it. End of story. That's exactly what it is. You are some 600-pound chick who loves cats, absolutely is consumed by smut books, wants to absolutely destroy everything that the patriarchy gives you because it exists. Because you're not given enough. When you were the ugly friend in the group that steps up to 7s to 9s, you were the chick that they used against that. So now you want to tear everybody down because they don't accept. Fuck you. Fuck you. That's not how this works. You can't just sit there with your thumb up your ass and be like, hey, you got to accept. Fuck you. I don't. Don't gaslight me, motherfucker. That's not how this works.
Yeah, when I deal with
Let,
like YouTube comments, like I just get so much psychopathic behavior that I'm just like, a lot of projection here because they're miserable. Like that's where all hate comments come from, where just like person's miserable about themselves, and the only way they can make anyone else feel better is by tearing them down, or they've lost touch with reality. Something broke in their brain at some point. Maybe they
and
did get gaslit too much.
honestly, as I showed you guys in the fucking comments, if there is somebody who actually has a non-eloquent point where I feel like could explain their thoughts, I'll be like, hey, let's have the conversation. I don't care. I'm willing to admit I'm wrong. I've stood behind Verlis every single time somebody in the comments has said, oh, he's a narcissist. You don't even know what a fucking narcissist is. That is narcissism. That right there. Oh, you don't accept me because I made you the wrong cake. No. Saying that I'm right is not narcissistic. Feeling like you are better at somebody than something is not narcissistic. Feeling like you are God is narcissistic. And the women that this country that we built in the 80s and 90s, that's what it built. Narcissism. You have a whole bunch of mental illness in people that are our age or slightly older than us that are absolutely going to fucking destroy everything
They
because
already
of people
are,
like that.
and
Yeah,
for most part
have.
have.
Yeah. And it's scary. It's sad.
Yep.
So you said you didn't see this game. And obviously everything around Tarkov right now is fucking blowing up. So what is going on with Tarkov? Because I saw some of it. I didn't see all of it. But what
So Tarkov has a $250 expansion, but it's not DLC. They're calling it like a new feature, so it's not covered by the previous $150 bundle. And they're like skirting everything, and it's hella pay to win, and it's way too much, and it's way too much money for
so
way too much features to keep the rest of the games bad.
the base of it from back in the day was you could buy the original game, which was like $40. Then there was a step above it, I believe, that was like $60. And then there
Hmm.
was the highest tier, which was $150. And at the bottom, it tells you you receive this, 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 and all future DLC modes and content.
Hmm.
It's just made available to you. So then, now that they're starting to get ready for their release and stuff like that, that was during the alpha and the beta, they essentially released a new level to the game after removing the $90 version and the $150 version and set a standard of, oh, now this is $250. You can have all these games, you can have all these things. Is there anything that sticks out to the point where it's like, oh, that makes sense?
Uh, no. Well, the big thing is like, yeah, but that thing we said get you everything doesn't get you everything anymore, and nothing like all of your payments before don't contribute to this. Just give us your money. There is like an offline PvE mode, so you got some Helldiver stuff going in there. I don't know like the full list of what it has. I just know about the drama where everyone's upset. That's like, wow, this is like the shadiest cash grab of a game that is unplayable because of all the cheaters, anyways.
And this is a similar cash grab to when Call of Duty swapped from the season pass formula to what they're doing now with the micro DLC and stuff like that too. Where you see the whole, okay, so you buy the year season pass, you get everything in the year. Siege, I think, even still does that, where you buy the season pass and you get everything that's available because the new maps are free. The characters you have to go through and earn, whatever. Like that's how Siege works. It's how most games work. You buy the season pass, you get everything in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Once Call of Duty gave us that availability where we got the maps for free and then you had to buy this and buy that, it broke the system almost. And they should have been castrated the same way Tarkov is right now.
That's
They
the weird
should have
thing
been
about
looked
Call of
at as
Duty
a piece of
fans.
shit.
Because, like, everyone just, like, Call of Duty, same crappy game every year, and everyone just eats it up, and they never improve off of it because of that. And it's also why people, like, don't get upset at Apple for, you know, jacking up the price of their stuff, gatekeeping everything, which, like, you have to be in our ecosystem. No one else is allowed to communicate with that. You're special, and you're a good boy because you buy the Apple products.
Mhm.
Ignore people jumping out of Windows, so we're still good. And sent from iPhone, all this weird stuff. And it's like, whatever attaches someone to an audience, they can do no wrong unless it's like incredibly flawed. Because everyone was already upset at Tarkov, where it's like game's unplayable, too many cheaters, too many issues with the game, and now you're just trying to milk us even more. So they hit the line. COD hasn't apparently.
And what's crazy is COD did the same shit. What, 5 years ago, 6 years ago? You have the removal of the season pass, and now it's a battle pass, which I agree with. I understand where that's a choice. But if you bought a season pass, you should be allowed to have everything from that season. If you're gonna sell virtual fucking skins and everything else as things on top of that, okay, I get that. Sure. Now we're selling full entire game modes for 250 fucking dollars. You go buy Helldivers for fucking 35. What the fuck are you doing? Then this dropped. Gray Zone Warfare is probably, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful first person realistic military shooters I've ever seen.
I
And
haven't seen this, so I'm gonna have to look that up and see what's going on.
to know that this is a beta and that they're not in full launch yet and there is quirks and there's problems, like I ran into the AK-47 not being able to be reloaded unless you went through and went to the menu and clicked reload.
Wait,
Do you know how much that matters to me?
how did I not hear about this? It already
It's
has
one of the top.
14,000
Yes,
reviews, and it published yesterday.
yesterday, brother. They had
Why are
a
we
a
why are we doing this podcast and we're not streaming the new game and getting some amount of audience?
Do you want to, at the end of this, stop and stream this? Because I will.
Well,
Nine
I'll
o'clock,
do
we
that
can
tomorrow
go.
because like I think my day is kind of cooked, but wow, like
Noon
what's it?
tomorrow. Let's
We'll
go.
see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Um,
But
what
yeah, game
is?
game is fucking beautiful. It's $40 on Steam right now. And they're talking about launches for both consoles. They're talking about crossplay. They're talking about availability for fucking everything. Is there little glitches? Absolutely. But you know what? This is where it gets really cool to me because this is the shit that I wanted in
Hmm.
DMZ. The game doesn't end ever.
That's fascinating.
You go into the world, you spawn in the game, you go into the world, you join a team. You don't leave the team. You don't leave the world. The only time you leave is when you die. There's a safe house on 3 edges of the map where you're able to go back to your house and stash your stuff and everything else. You either call in for a helicopter or you walk out. The only way you leave the map is if you exit it. You leave the server, you're done. That's it. It is a complete open world first person shooter. You don't know who is a friend or a foe. The only thing you have is a map and a gun. This might fucking go to the point where Tarkov is gone. This has a chance at killing a lot of things.
Yeah, 73,000 viewers on Twitch right now. I'm just kind of like scrubbing through,
Yeah.
seeing what's going on.
And for it being a beta and having sketchy consistency issues with running on computers, it is a beautiful game for when it runs. Fucking beautiful. It might be, honestly, if there's not a big title game, which I know Baldur's Gate, Dragon's Dogma is probably the game so far that's stuck out the most for everybody. This is that game for me. It's probably going to blow up. I put 5 hours into the game yesterday, and I was like, I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop. I'm sitting here editing videos as I'm playing it. Like, yeah, fuck. I'm just stopped for work, and I'm like, fuck. I just want to go back and play. I'm like, okay, well, I have to stream Pokemon after this, and then I have to be an adult, trying to do things and trying to get shit set up and get YouTube videos rendered. And the game is fucking fun though. And the fact that you don't know if somebody is a bot or somebody is a human, you don't know. Because
Looks
there's
like the game hasn't even like picked up. Like I think just no one knows about it because like 70 or 65,000 concurrent peak. That's really good, but that's also like not like smash hit like Helldivers zooping up to 500,000 or something. So the game still has a breakout point. Interesting.
there hasn't even been a level to the point where they're like, oh, it's released. There was a beta test last week for like 40, 50 YouTubers. And so you have all the big Tarkov guys hopping on this. This blows up this week. This is going to be the thing. This is going to be the next thing.
I like it. I need my Warzone fix too because it was such a good game. I missed my PUBG, but then PUBG no
Warzone
one played
ranked is
it.
so fun.
Yeah, like the things PUBG was great, and then everyone stopped playing, and then it all got bots, and they ruined their game. Warzone was good for like the first season, then everyone started cheating, and it's still all cheaters, and like you can't go in and have any confidence.
Ranked is pretty clean. Non-ranked is horrible. So my son is like, yeah, you know what, Dad? I'm an elite on Fortnite. I'm gonna try and play Warzone for a little bit. I said, you probably should just stop playing Fortnite. You should just stop now because this is
No, you
insane.
have to make him a Fortnite streamer so he gets picked up by FaZe, and then you're set for life.
No, that would be his money. Never mind.
Damn. Because I was about to say, then I get some trickle
That's
there,
a
and
real
everyone's good.
parent.
Yeah.
That's a real parent. Okay, you could pay some of your bills. That's all you got to do. $300 a month is your side. Everything else is yours.
The rest of the 10K from streaming as like a god tier player is yours. Yeah. That's going to college fund something.
Yep. Let me save all your money. I got you, buddy. I'll take care of you. But yeah, no, it's crazy because I started playing ranked on Warzone. And I'm like, this is so smooth. This game is so fun. It could be so fun. And I'm just playing it solo.
Yeah,
no comms.
I'm gonna mute and hit up the homie real quick. And
yeah, no, you're good. No, but Gray Zone is so fun. Fucking ranked is fun. But Gray Zone, that game is super fucking clean. If you like DMZ and you like it turned up to 11, Gray Zone is absolutely fantastic. And it has the Tarkov kind of feel to it, to where there is realism. And when you shoot somebody or you get hit, it fucking hurts. If somebody shoots past your head and you don't have headphones on, your vision blurs and you have a fucking concussion and you're like, oh, fuck, this fucking sucks.
Does it fix a lot of problems with Tarkov, like the inventory management and all the like Tetrising and like too many pieces?
There is Tetrising, but it seems like you can use the same little glitches that I picked up from Woody and Kyle talking about it, where you can use backpacks to store other things inside of a backpack. That works. And you can kind of organize yourself that way and have setups of here's everything in one backpack, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, like if we had a squad of 3 or 4 guys and we're like, okay, this guy's the medic, and we just had him run a little slower and took care of everybody and made sure everybody was healed. Here's band-aids, here's whatever. You're the pack mule of everybody. Let's lead 2 people
Mm-hmm.
and everybody else stands back. That would probably work out fantastic.
That sounds really cool. Like even doing meta stuff like that as this world is just
Mhm.
constantly running and going crazy. And well, also like,
And
is
they
it
have
the same difficulty as Tarkov? 'Cause that's kind of a gate where
so
it just like seems too intense.
I played
Too
solo for 4 hours and I didn't stop having fun.
good.
And I wasn't even sure if my mic was working in game or not because they have not fleshed out everything yet. So if you mute your mic within game and you're sitting in a Discord with 3 or 4 buddies and you're sitting there bullshitting back and forth and you're having fun, I guarantee you this game fucking is a blast.
I mean, is it like
Because
too much realism? Is it like cut back a little bit from Tarkov, or is it more clone in the gameplay?
so I played Tarkov for about an hour and I didn't interact or see anybody. So my Tarkov knowledge is not as big as it probably could have been because I got burnt. I couldn't catch up to everybody because I started playing it 4 years afterwards. My friend bought it for me. He's like, "Here, come play
Hmm.
Tarkov with us." Okay, I'll play. I'll try it. I didn't ever fall in love with it. I played 5 hours of it and I'm like, "This has a chance. This has the possibility to do something." And I don't necessarily know if it's going to do it or not because who the fuck knows? It could be anything. This really does seem like it has a chance though.
Interesting.
Especially where everybody is with shooters.
Yeah.
People want a shooter. People want an open world. This could be that. Like you see that with Helldivers, you see that with Starfield. They're both open world shooters where there's availability. If they open up 3 or 4 maps like this where they're all open like this, this
Yeah,
this game has chance.
my friend said tactical FPS emphasizing realism, hard pass. So I'm gonna have to mute and try to
Yeah,
convince him.
you got to yell at them, whip them into shape. Exactly. Just take care of them. Stop being a commie. Come on. I know your Trump arrangements beating you over the head, but we got this, bud. We got this. You can be our medic. Me and Verlis will go out and fucking rip everybody. We'll throw fucking Pokeballs at them and catch them. So the main thing that I liked is if you think about this non-meta wise, you would assume that there is no place to get free loot, at least close to your base, right? No, you take the time to explore the fucking world like I did yesterday. Every house is populated with things. Even the houses that are right in front of your fucking base. That the other teams are not going to fucking be there. There's no reason for them to be there. You can go get backpacks for free because all the houses have them. So it's
How does
not.
the respawning and spawning of items work then with how
I have
persistent
not seen that yet, but I've seen people randomly die in front of me too. So like even if there might not be, so it's PvPvE or PvEP, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? So there is bots and people in this world always. I have not seen where it resets. So even in 4 hours, which it might have reset during that time, I did go back. So in one of the cities or towns in this area, I walked through it, pushed all the way up to this construction building, and then pulled back to the exfil. And as I was pulling back, there was more people to fight. It was like
Hmm.
playing through a Call of Duty map, which was nice. It's like, okay, so I went there. Now when I come back, there is still people to fight, and you're still at risk, which is nice. It doesn't feel like it ever calms down to the point where you're like, oh fuck. So you could go out and run with a pistol and pick up a backpack, pick up things that you need, so that way you can start your next jump to this point or that point, and you're still at risk. Could you go on the first 3 houses and be safe? Sure. But when people actually figure out that you can do that, nobody's going to fucking let you.
Hmm.
So then you
Also, it
have
just
people
seems like
fighting.
really good progression, like in a roguelike or something, where it's like, I make it to the first dungeon, die. I make it to room 2, die. Make it to room 3, die. And then I come back with a little more, my character gets a little
That was
stronger.
it. That was the other thing is like, I remember when Kyle would talk about, oh, the biggest thing on Tarkov that I hate is dying in a raid and hoping my friend saves my shit. I had this moment yesterday. I was running around in the starter area, touching like the towns and stuff like that at the beginning to kind of just loot myself up. You know, when you're talking other people into joining and shit, you got to be able to explain some things. You got to be able to put shit together so that way they don't have to. So that way, you know, you're not the dickhead that's throwing somebody into deep water and saying, figure it out. Like, okay, I got to get shit. So that way I can talk people into playing this fucking dumbass game with me. I find bots and they start shooting at me. I have nothing. I have one clip worth of a pistol that I was like, okay, if I run into somebody, it's a 50-50 coin flip. I have a chance because if I click ahead or something like that, we're good. Run into 6 fucking bots. These motherfuckers light me the fuck up. One has a shotgun. They run up on me, fucking hit me in the fucking lungs. I'm dying. I'm bleeding out. I empty my entire fucking mag, and as I'm running away, I'm clicking it. Like, I could fucking kill you if I could just have ammo. And I'm like, wait. And screen goes black. It's like, you died, you're in a coma. And you go, boof, and you're back. Guess what? Same fucking world. Go get your shit.
That's wild.
It's like you run into a gunfight, you run into this shit and you deal with this shit. You have a chance to go back. You have a chance to win again.
You are your own salvation.
Yeah, you're your own reinforcement. So like if we go in and we have a nasty fucking battle in the biggest fucking city, in the hardest fucking place, that's not a full lose yet. We could lose everybody and be like, okay, guys, are we done? Do we want to go again?
Or someone's like wounded, barely getting by. It's like, I'm out of meds, but I stopped bleeding. I'm at 5 health. And then it's like, I respawned in. Stay alive.
Everything is available. You can buy meds. You find meds on the ground. You find chocolate bars and candy bars on the ground. You always have a way to reheal. You might not have a way to fix your broken leg. You might not have a way to fix your punctured lung. That's why I'm saying if we have a meta where we can have somebody run our fucking meds and have the crazier things like stitches or surgical kits, oh God, just like needing Gfuel and needing Factor to make sure my life is absolutely easy, that would make life easy. Is just having somebody carry the meds. Let's carry shit out. I will stock you up as soon as we get out of the game because in your stash, you're still in the fucking world. Your base is a safe place. They can't kill you there, but it's still in the open world. And that to me is cool because now then you're thinking like, oh, I could sit in those first houses and as these retards and these little bunnies run out of their fucking house, out of their base, you just click heads because that's the next step. It's getting exfilled over to their locations and figuring out exactly where they are.
It's going to be interesting because a lot of gamers are weak these days and they hate like
They're
PvP
shitty.
and they hate camping and stuff. So it's like, does it become like an old school WoW PvP server where it's just like everything is controlled by groups, no one new is allowed to play and enter, it's all gate kept?
The only shitty thing that I don't like about it so far is you cannot change teams. You're locked on the team that you click when you start, it seems. And I don't know how much that matters. I don't know if the bases that you jump from are different or whatever. I can't figure that part out. And that part to me is probably the most interesting, is being able to do that.
Okay, so like what's the friendly fire situation on same teams then?
Full friendly fire. You shoot somebody, you die. You shoot somebody, they die.
Then what's the point of teams?
Teams, then you're able to actually have comms. You have somebody to cover your ass. You have somebody to look out and keep an eye out. Solo, it's fun. Teams, I haven't tried it yet, but it absolutely could be a fucking blast because if you're like, oh, just like in Warzone, where you're like, okay, somebody's at 131, they're this far, and let's click, they're dead. Oh, there's somebody over there, and then that person would have killed you because they're on your flank. You don't see them. You get 1-2 shot. It's scary. You're sitting there crouch walking everywhere. It gets bad. And movement is at a fucking top level. I was running 20 round mags instead of 30 round mags, so I was lighter. It's like a 15 to 20% increase in speed. It's like, what the fuck is
that could also be interesting for like the medic or the support player, where just like just throw clips, just give you ammo as well and meds.
And the
push ahead, fall back because I'm slow, but here you go. Here's more shit.
Exactly. Just use them as like the light machine gunner. Here. Has a few surgical kits. Here's the biggest backpack.
Feeding your belt.
And I'll feed you the stuff. just make sure everybody's healed. Make sure everybody's taken care of. And let me just style on these motherfuckers and use my 20
Here's
round
the
mag M4.
GPU. I'm pushing again. If I die, run to the safe house with this.
And that's
A lot
the
of
cool
strategy,
thing.
a lot of cool shit.
You can be X-filled, so you can go back to the infill that you went to, or the other one, because it seems like each base would have two. So you're able to go to point A or point B. You can go back to that point and be flown out with a 2-minute timer, 3-minute timer, and hike yourself back out. Or you can walk yourself all the way back to the safe house.
Mm-hmm.
And you could die at any time. So do you wait for the timer to click and risk being shot? Or be like the dude that I ran up on the other day and he was yesterday and he was dead on the fucking ground. I'm like, you're 5 seconds from our base and you're dead on the ground. What the fuck happened to you? And I'm like,
sucks to be you.
This is all my shit now. I have a shotgun that I have ammo for. It's like, I don't know why I would use a shotgun on this big fucking map, but it's interesting. I'm really interested to see what happens with it. It could be huge.
Interesting, yeah. I wish I knew about it because like this just sounds really cool.
Oh, absolutely, man. You want to hop on at like 9, 10 o'clock tonight or tomorrow? Let's
I'll see
play.
whatever my availability folds into, but yeah.
Yeah. No, just shoot me a message. I will probably be, it's like a 50-50 if I'm streaming it tonight.
Yeah.
I might.
I'm gonna buy this right now, and you can, and I'll keep interacting.
Yeah, I bought the minimum one because I wanted to see exactly what it was, and it seemed like all the other things are packs you can add, which I liked. It's like, oh, you can add this $20 pack, or you could add this $30
Yeah, like
pack.
actual DLC add-ons.
What? I can just buy a $20 pack and my asshole gets bigger? I like that. I don't have to rebuy the entire fucking game 50 times. It's nice. That is smooth and simple and a way for me to understand exactly how things work. But if I play this game for another week or so, I might upgrade to the Elite Edition because this game definitely has legs and it definitely has the availability. And I could imagine my little Fortnite shithead fucking shitting on everybody, and this would be hilarious if he actually gets to enjoy it. But yeah, I'm interested to see what this thing does because there's a hole in the market right now, especially with Tarkov now being killed.
Ooh,
I'm still
all right. So you start with an assault rifle and some grenades. If you get the Elite Edition equipment, extra locker size. Fuck.
It seems I would assume they probably double everything because you start off with 2 ARs,
Okay.
2 pistols as the base, and then I would assume that there's more and probably a bigger asshole and all that shit. That all kind of makes sense.
I'm just gonna buy the base game and see how it goes.
Yeah, that's what I did. There is a lot of viability problems right now. There is. I think some people are having problems with it running. I had problems when I ran everything on ultra, but I was able to step it down and customize it slightly and drop shadows. And all of a sudden, it ran perfect while I was streaming, and I was streaming in 1080. I think I was running 60 FPS, but that's kind of all you need at that point. And it is super dense foliage, so it's just shadows fucking everywhere.
So it's also the that PUBG feel where it's like fucking gotta spot someone. Bro,
No,
like that's why I started feeling like a gamer when I was like catching people in PUBG.
Legitimately scary. Like you're in dense brush foliage. Like I haven't seen brush foliage in a game that's an FPS like this since like playing fucking, you know, when you would go to that one cousin's house and they're like, I'm playing Cabela's this week. And you'd sit down and be like, where do you see the deer? As always, boys, use code RMTS at checkout. Use code Verlisify at checkout. 20% off. Shows Gfuel. We love them. Absolutely the only energy drink we drink every single day. So go give them some love. They deserve it. Everything's all these pixelated fucking leaves. It's that except pretty. Like everything's filled out. It's like you're walking through a rice paddy. You hear because you hear the mud and water as you run. It's so in depth. It's really really sweet. So going from this game probably making whoever made this game $1 billion. Peacock lost 639 million. So what is this shit? Because you sent me just a screenshot of it.
Yeah,
That
you can
they
put the
lost.
screenshot up. It was just like of a news thing. Well, the thing is, it's just like, oh, streaming services. They get like, it was so nice. Which like, you just need Netflix, maybe another one, $10 a month. You got every show you could possibly ever want to watch, and then everything started getting exclusives and split apart because everyone steal market share from Netflix. And then some people are running three now $20 things. It's like, wait a second, that's why we drop cable TV so we don't have to pay $60 to have just the thing of channels, and it's ended up that way. So like, oh yeah, all these extra streaming services are getting wrecked.
And the crazy thing is Netflix is kind of shit in the bed too. Everything's now dying again. It literally just reverted back to like 2013 where everybody was still, clicking upload and download. That's all people are doing again. Or they have a server and their friend runs it and handles it. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
where everybody's going back to because nobody cares still.
Actually, I think a big thing is they paid $1 billion. I don't know. It's just like sounds like the number, like a random amount of money for the Super Bowl. Well, everyone's already illegally streaming anyways, and it says they lost this money in Q1. So that means like they made this gamble on the
That's
Super
peak
Bowl.
Super Bowl time. They should have been able to make the money back.
That's what I mean. They
And then
gambled
you
it on the
also
Super Bowl. No one cared. No one bought into Peacock
they
just
also
to watch the
bought
Super
the
Bowl.
WWE network.
Everyone canceled their subscription immediately, and then they didn't care about any other shows it's hosted.
Yeah, and then they also bought up the WWE network and all that back catalog and stuff like that. I guess that's not making the money back because they're not even hosting the live episodes. They're now going to Netflix. What actually is happening in this groundscape? Because it doesn't fucking make sense. It's all convoluted, it's all complicated, but at the same time, it's so direct. Nobody wants to buy 15 fucking things all at the same time. When I go to the store, I buy 90% of the time the same fucking 90% of everything. I might change that 10%. I might change that 15%, but I got my Gfuel. Why the fuck do I need anything else? You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
if I have Netflix at home, why am I going to buy fucking Hulu? Why am I going to buy a YouTube TV? You know what I'm saying?
Man,
And I know
YouTube.
I'm
I
in a
think actually the crazy thing is, this probably would never happen if YouTube just made it like if people didn't get upset that like everything on YouTube should be free and not have ads because like weirdness entitlement from the younger generations. Like if YouTube just captured that market and made like everything's here, it's 10, $15. You also no ads on YouTube itself. I think like none of the other service or streaming services we've even seen like a chance they would have never done it. But everyone had like the little holes like, oh, Netflix dropped a little bit in stock because they lost 1 million users. Time to find how to get in. So like a lot of weird stuff brought us here.
and it brought us to the same exact place we were trying to flee.
Hmm.
We were trying to kill cable companies. We didn't want people dictating what the fuck we watched and why we watched it. We didn't want to have to deal with people saying, "Oh, you know, we're dealing with them as a cable provider. We want more money to put our shows on your TV." Why the fuck is that my problem? Why the fuck does that charge me money? This is all dumb. This is all retarded. I don't understand why you saying, "Hey, you have to pay us for my TV show to be on your cable provider." I don't care. That money should not be offset to me. You're
Hmm.
trying to earn me. Where is this?
Yeah,
Any bit
because
equal.
without viewers, then there's no ad revenue.
Yeah, which is where you make your money back, you fucking dipshits. We left this shit for a fucking reason. We didn't want to deal with this shit for a reason, but yet for some reason, we're still dealing with it. That's crazy. And honestly, that's why I'm so okay with G Fuel, why I'm so okay with a lot of the brands that we work with. And that's why the sponsor this month is Factor. Go check out Factor. They're one of the greatest meal delivery services in the entire world. They were just purchased by HelloFresh. And HelloFresh was great. I tried them. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try Factor because I liked the form factor of it being in a ready prep meal. You put it in the microwave for 2.5 minutes if you freeze it, and it comes out and it's literally a restaurant quality meal for $7 in 2 minutes delivered to your door.
And
That
DoorDash
to
is
me is
getting
fantastic.
expensive. You just be like, you
Yeah.
could sneak in a $12 DoorDash order, get your Dash Pass, and then like $15 in tip and whatever. But now it's like, no matter what, it's minimum $20 for a single burger and a small fry. So, why, like, and then it's about optimizing your life. With G Fuel, servings are cheaper than if you buy a can of other energy drinks at the gas station every morning before work, instead of filling up one of these bad boys with more caffeine, better energy,
Yep.
antioxidants, focus complex. So it's like, wait,
No fucking sugar.
we're not trying to like pound like give us money because when you buy we get a cut kind of thing, but it's like, wait, no, it's actually a better life where everything like your food and drink is taken care of, your energy is taken care of, and it's cheaper than the alternatives.
You know, we have the ability to absolutely just fill everything we do with ads. You guys see it with Raid. You guys see it with Genshin Impact. You see it with all of these companies. Has any of them ever been on the show? I think Raid might have been because I thought it was funny. Because if somebody clicked, you got, I think it was $65 if they made it to like level 5. Yeah, let me just break the fourth wall a little bit. Like
And breaking
40.
NDAs.
No, I didn't sign this shit. And there is no NDA like
Yeah,
that.
there's one of those things where you can find a lot of
Yeah.
public ones where it's like if you have any YouTube channel, you just plug it in. It's like here's an offer. It's always Raid Shadow Legends. You click it. It's like
Yep.
stream for 2 hours, get 3 conversions, and then $200 if they all hit level 5 for just 3 people.
Yeah.
We need to bring back Raid Shadow Legends.
That's where Factor came from. So we need you guys to go support Factor and show them that they love us and everything else. Use the link down in the description, the code down in the description to make sure your checkout goes through. I believe you get 50% off, just like everybody
But that was
else's Factor
factor
deal.
75 because of 75 off.
But it would so HelloFresh uses this weird thing where they put the 50, it's like 50% on the first box, 50% on the second box, and then it slopes down to 0. But it's a
Okay.
weekly food delivery service. They're absolutely fantastic. And I literally have a freezer full of Factor meals that I purchased myself because I just like the product. It's absolutely amazing. We actually
Yeah,
have a really
optimize
cool
your
sponsor.
life.
Yeah, we have a really cool sponsor that's more gameplay kind of incentivized. You guys could be making money with it. That me and Verlis slightly talked about last night, and we're going to be looking at them a little bit. And if they decide to join, we'll let you guys know. But we're excited about that one too. But I just wanted to actually give a live ad read because we haven't done those in a bit. I've been using commercials because I think it's higher quality, but who knows? I don't know what you guys like. But you know, just the boys. Got to throw an absolute one in there. And so, do you want to go to body acceptance or the fake flood?
Fake flood.
Okay, Verlisify. Did you see this shit about the Dubai fake flood? They absolutely impregnated fucking clouds over top of Dubai and Abu Dhabi and made the entire place flood. Like the last time that anybody saw floods like this, it was biblical times, and we were in for 40 days and 40 nights. As far as I know, the only people that can affect clouds like this are impregnating clouds or chemtrails. It's the only answer. It faded out. My voice cracked. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's how I'm. Whenever I do my Alex Jones, you can only hurt your voice.
Yep, it hurts. You could absolutely get really, really good with it. I'm sure that it's like 65% the way there. I can't listen to myself. But yeah, so Dubai decided to cloud seed, which is essentially their way that everybody complains about people faking rain, controlling weather, and stuff like that. They went through and they seeded clouds in order for them to have rain and stuff like that. Obviously, with it being the desert, they kind of have to do that in order to kind of maintain their climate and stuff that they're trying to maintain to be the world hub that they're in. But they caused massive flooding across the entire country of Dubai to the point where everything's fucking destroyed. It's just flooded. Everything turned into a lake. It's like 40% coverage. That's why I made the joke about 40 days and 40 nights, because honestly, it rained for a shit ton of fucking time. The United States couldn't handle that shit.
Yeah.
They're a
There
fucking
is a
desert.
ground saturation issue even in the desert. And then
Yeah.
because everything becomes mud, it becomes, well, not mud, but it gets really compacted and then just sits. Have you ever been to the beach?
Well, think about it this way. We're actually seeing the level of cartoon quicksand that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to, everybody's seen those videos where they're riding down these long ass highways that absolutely go into the desert and have nobody has any idea where they end. What's going to happen when they're sliding up on their two wheels or hanging out of their fucking Range Rover, going la 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 la, shooting their AKs off in the sky, and then they randomly get sucked into a vat of fucking quicksand, just gone. What's going to happen? Is everybody going to be confused? Are we actually going to hear the story? Because I think these stories are going to happen. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be sad too, but
That's definitely,
hilarious that we have cartoon
I
quicksand.
guess, yeah, like the cartooniness of it is hilarious, but otherwise, no.
It's sad because people, it's funny because I think quicksand was overstated to everybody. Like, how many stories did you hear about Indiana Jones getting sucked into quicksand or a mud pit or some tar pit? I have yet to see any of those to that level, at least.
Mm-hmm.
When have you ever seen a mud pit that you could step in and get sucked down into? You might walk into like some gully that, you go up to your ankle in fucking mud, but there's something stable underneath that. It's not, 6 feet worth of mud and you're dead now. I've never had that problem. I guess there's marshes and shit, but why the fuck are you walking down there?
Then at that point, it's common sense. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh no, quicksand. It's, oh no, I waded into a bog until I got stuck. Hey, look at that. There's an elk right here too. He ain't looking too good.
Yeah, look, saber-tooth tiger. I thought those were gone. It's really fucking weird, man.
That's like
I don't
when they find just like a mammoth in the permafrost. It's like, you know what? I probably shouldn't have been here to begin with.
They're trying to bring those back.
Yeah, I
And
think it's
that's the
cool.
weirdest thing. It is cool. It's cool as hell, but at what point does everything in the world just turn to Jurassic Park? It just turns to us just creating animals and creating things for us to be able to go back and just see them.
CRISPR's getting there.
Would you go to Jurassic Park if it was a thing?
Absolutely not.
You just watch videos online and be like, "Yeah, I got it for free," and you paid fucking $400 to go, dipshits.
Yeah. Also, I don't want science fiction to become reality when I show up.
Exactly.
Playing
And there's a
God is
big
something I don't want to pay to be a part of.
well, Dubai figured that out too.
But the weird thing is, like, I'm thinking this is kind of working, and this is kind of a solution to all of our problems, though, if we can figure it out. Sea levels rising, seed clouds. Well, that's just fresh water now. Gets into the aquifer. Aquifers are depleted. We don't have any water for farms out in California. Like, we don't. If we find a way, we can actually make it to the future with this. Is my thought.
Like, why isn't this widely used enough for us to be able to actually have that same exact fix to the problems that we have? And I agree. Like, I see it too. It's like, why the fuck are we having any water problems then? You're making the problem not happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
More
so why are we still
clouds.
having it?
It's cooler outside, creates more trees. Those trees suck in CO2. I could just be
Nah,
completely
man.
wrong and ignorant, but like, why is this not the idea for the
That
future?
that fights against the entire idea of global warming. I love how they just
We're in an ice
skated past.
age. Ice age is
Yeah,
bad.
I
Shit
love how
doesn't
they
grow in an ice
skated
age.
past the idea when it went from global warming to extreme global weather.
Climate change was the switch.
You're muted. You're muted.
Shouldn't be.
Did my headphones literally die without telling me? Am I just a buffoon? Yep. No idea. No idea. I literally have no audio. Everything fucking died. I'm horrible at my job. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just keep covering.
Okay.
Let me
If
fix it.
well, then don't
There
talk
we
to
go.
yourself. You keep covering, but you can't hear me anyways. So I guess it's all messed
I
up.
got you. I
Yeah.
got you. We're good. My headphones died without telling me. Fuck you, Apple, and your shitty products. Literally only does that when I fucking don't need them to. does that at work and right now. What the fuck? Did it last night during the stream too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this week has been fucking weird. It's crazy how calm and level headed everything's been. I'm
Yeah, I
excited.
haven't seen any like crazy enough story that something went down that was actually like to talk about, like we saw with the other last couple weeks, where it's like, oh, no inner monologues popping off again. There we go, and then that's just stacking on top of all the Gen Z problems. But it's like, no, everyone kind of calmed down for a bit.
The amount of people that commented, and I talked to my sister about that shit where they don't want to fucking order and stuff. And my sister was born in 97. She's like, yeah, I'm really shy. I don't like ordering. It's like, but if I brought you to a restaurant, at minimum, if they walk up to the table, you're not going to have me order for you. It gets weird at that point. Like, don't go out then. Is it
Also, just
really
like that
not that hard?
developmental gap. Wait, in the early '90s, we got outside and we played with each other and socialized, and we skinned our knees and we like got our face pushed into the mud and fell out of trees, and now we can actually talk to people. Who knew?
I don't even think it's like outside interaction, as stupid as that sounds, because I understand that most people are chronically online and that's probably why a lot of the problems actually happen.
Hmm.
But it seems like as a whole, there's so many more problems than just being chronically outside. It seems like a lot of them are we are not afraid to say whatever the fuck is on our mind on the internet. But that anxiety happens because there's nothing in between us. So if you fuck up, you're fucking up everything that you worked for your entire life. So we might understand how that civil ordinance and understanding of each other happens. But anybody who just sits behind a screen, there's no correlation to what I'm saying and what is happening. They don't perceive that.
I think that
I don't
explains
think that's
a lot, actually.
I don't think that's just because we're behind a screen. I think it's because there's no ramifications or repercussions for what we're doing.
Unless you're bigoted, like, because that's the
Yeah.
thing. I was thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, I didn't have that realization. But even if you have like your profile picture and a name online, it's not you, or it doesn't feel like you to most people. The average
Well,
person just like, I can just say whatever, and if
you
someone
have
calls me an
50
idiot,
fucking fake accounts. You have 50 fake accounts that are all Verlis something that say that they're you and act like dipshits online and do whatever the fuck they want to do and drag your name through the mud
hmm, they
because you're
lose
somebody.
themselves. They don't know who
Yeah.
they are anymore because they have to role play someone else. But I'm saying, even if like,
That's where the problem is.
but even the people that are themselves, I actually, dude, this would be like the craziest study where it's like anime profile picture, or if you're just like poop rag 47 on Twitter, and like, oh wait, are these the only people with menu anxiety? But if you actually say like Tony, and then you have like your Facebook and it's all your identity, or your Twitter and stuff, even though that's not great because like then you get doxxed and then you get canceled and stuff. But like, if you actually be yourself on the internet, you don't lose yourself, but everyone else is being fake, or they don't want accountability. If they, even if they get proven wrong, they just say take the L, haha nerd, yapping, and then they just block you anyways, even though you prove them wrong. And then they lose themselves, and then that means they can't even socialize in any function. So when they're with another person, they're like, I don't know how to do that because I'm not a thing in the real world anymore.
Yeah, you become so disconnected from who you were or who you were meant to be because you're just disconnected from what you were supposed to be.
Hmm.
Like, and that's the bottom of my tattoo. Like, I don't care what you say. You could say whatever the fuck you want to say. I am a loud ass motherfucker and I'm going to keep being loud because I need to be. Guess what? I also ignore all the fucking positive comments too. I don't give a fuck about the negative ones. I don't give a fuck about the positive ones because honestly, if I sat there and validated every positive thing anybody ever said about me and negated every negative thing, that's narcissism.
I'm about to say, now you get ego, now you get narcissism. It's like, yeah, the best thing you can do is be you, but the people that do that, they just like, wait a second, if I'm me and someone says you're wrong, that hurts me. But if someone says my anime profile and I'm cutie waifu 74, they didn't attack me. Yeah, we win. They can like, they disconnect themselves. It's wild.
It's like, oh, these are my thoughts and opinions, but nobody knows who you are.
Hmm.
You're just Blobfish367. Look at my asshole. My asshole is my Twitter picture, and everybody else has seen my asshole, but they don't know what my face looks like. And that to me is so fucking disconnected. It's so convoluted. It's so bizarre. When we joined MySpace, when we joined AIM, yeah, we had fucking gamer tag names, but as a whole, how many of our thoughts were fucking viciously there?
Well,
It was
also like
song
gamer
lyrics
tags
that stuck
meant
out.
something, because like
Yeah.
if I'm running into Call of Duty as Verlis, I'm Verlis. Everyone's going yo Verlis, cover that, yo over there 120, I'm down, pick me up. It's like you actually still relate to that in the gamer sphere.
And to me, like, I don't want to even go into gamer chat anymore. You know how much fun I used to do? Like, whether it was shit talking, whether it was just bouncing off people and having fun, or even a good game. I don't want to fucking do it anymore because I'd rather just not fucking hear the bullshit. I'd rather not hear the fucking obscene bullshit that goes on. I'd rather not hear about how I'm a squeaker or something like that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is so, like, I remember last time I was in game chat actively, I was playing DMZ and my son turned on fucking 4 people. And you hear everybody fucking their mics start chirping. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Obscene, 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 blah, 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 blah. I said, dude, you just got killed by a 10-year-old. How about you just take the L and shut the fuck up? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're just saying fucked up weird things because you want to say fucked up weird things.
Well,
Go
it's
say
because they're
fucked
not
up
a
weird things.
person. They've
Yeah.
lost touch and become a thing, and they only know default. They like, oh, I got proven wrong. Now they just yapping.
Like
Cringe.
it's hard because there was so many people during Gamergate that were like, okay, well, everybody's negative in games. Yeah. Yeah, they are. There is no correlation to who or what you are in that game chat. It does not fucking matter. It doesn't matter. There is nothing that fucking matters when you're in a game. There is no tits or get the fuck out. It's how good you are at the game. Nobody gives a fuck. But if I'm sitting on the couch with the homies, do you think those words slip out? No, they don't. It doesn't fucking matter. So that to me is where it fucking fell apart. Is there's no accountability. Fucking none. There's no correlation to who I am because nobody wants that anymore. I would rather it be a real fucking genuine interaction. And I think I said that in some of the comments that I replied to. It was either this week or last week. It's like, I'd rather have a genuine interaction with somebody and me be wrong and admit I am wrong than have a non genuine conversation and everybody's like, why the fuck did that even happen?
See, that's all I want. People like Verlisify never admits he's wrong. That's why he's a narcissist. It's like, can you say something that actually like makes sense instead of well, I've never cheated, you're wrong. It's like, but there's facts, there's data mining. Same thing with like everything else. Like, I just want to see a fact, but they're too stupid and disconnected to figure out
And like,
reality.
I think that if somebody came to you, any big creator, whether that's, and I'm going to list off
Hmm.
a few, I'm not saying these people have done wrong or not done wrong. I'm not saying anything anybody in the Pokemon sphere. You have Wolfie, you have Dan at the more negative side, and then you have people like Shady who are questionable in some things. Like you go through all of those things. If one of them said, "Hey, I understand that this is negative in this situation," and agreed with you, or you said, "Hey, I understand what your point is," in any of those situations, and you actually had a conversation, it's like all of a sudden they're like, "Oh fuck, he agreed." All of, everything changes now. And it's
Hmm.
like that light switch flips. But if it's a comment and somebody's so disconnected from their humanity that, oh, you're agreeing. Obviously, since you agreed at step 1, you agree with step 10, obviously, bad person.
Hmm.
Fuck you. And it's like, so I agree, I'm a bad person. I disagree, I'm a bad person. What actually do you want out of this?
Yeah, it's also it goes the other way around where it's like rare Verlisify W. It's like I if you believe that I've said this correctly, then you need to reflect on all the other things
Yet,
I've said, but they don't. They're just like, no, you're 99% wrong, and the 1% W doesn't change any of that. I'm just saying that. And they'll also be like, oh, yeah, you finally made a good point. Too bad you're still a piece of shit. It's like, why did you have to put that last part in there? Fucking weirdo.
like, And I think of it this way: I don't give a fuck if you see me as a piece of shit. I genuinely don't. You want to know why? Because I genuinely understand what kind of person I am and what level I hold myself to.
I mean, I
You,
care because I miss just real discussion.
yeah, and that's the hard part is like you get painted as something all of a sudden you're always at, and there's no way to kind of change that or articulate that, which is weird. Why are we not having conversations anymore? Sounds dumb to me. But like it's odd because that can be so affected by so few people.
Mm-hmm.
They can be changed by so few people.
Well, also just like if a very large creator says something, well, smaller ones say that to suck them off, and then also keep their collabs alive, and then it's just peer pressure, and it's a chain of mass formation down.
You all know how things grow. That's the same exact way Nappy grew at the beginning. The big negative Nappy person. You put everybody together, you collab, you work with your friends see that collabing is fun, and every single person grows off each other. I said this literally on the stream yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the start of a fan base and you start pushing that out to other people and bringing your friends along with you, you will never run a day by yourself ever. Not because you're their meal ticket, because you're each other's meal ticket. You
Well,
break that friendship.
unless you're grooming people behind the scenes.
Yeah. I'm not saying anything he
Mm-hmm.
did behind the scenes is acceptable at all.
I
But
know.
the way that he ran the business of what Pokemon YouTube was is exactly how everybody should run YouTube in what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, that was that
Building
the
that
whole
team,
Lumio
building that
station.
cycle. Yeah. And that started by a fucking COD YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
That COD YouTuber still is fucking huge. You want to know the last time he touched the game? I don't know. Probably Modern Warfare 2, the original one. He was never the dude who played the game.
Yeah.
He's just
Also,
a
like
good dude.
the weird thing with Nappy was in the name, King Nappy. He was the king and had all everyone else around him and under him, and they were all just working together. Unfortunately, that is like used for evil, where it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, competition's coming up. We have the monopoly.
That was my point. That was my point. Was like everybody wants to secure their cake. So let's work with everybody. Oh, my cake is secured. Fuck everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is so wrong. I don't care. Like if one of our friends hops on here and they blow up from it, which will probably never happen, whatever. Don't care. And they go 450,000 subscribers in a month because of things that we talk about that with them or whatever. Good for you. I'm so proud of you. I will be standing right by your side hoping that you blow up. I don't care. It's not fuck you for me. It's let's all grow because that is so much better for everybody. I would rather all of my friends be standing by my side than holding them back so that way I can keep being ahead. I don't care if I'm ahead. I just want to be a part of the group. Let's go. Let's
Mm-hmm.
change YouTube. They're like, do you think the MrBeast effect for how the internet changed when he started blowing up? Do you feel like that was a positive or a negative? And I had a really, really kind of drab answer last night. I was like, I think it's positive as far as like the world goes, but it's made everybody be so disingenuously fake to absolutely everything afterwards that it's made everything fucking gross.
Mm-hmm.
He delivers on his clicks, on what he's getting you to do. But I think a lot of it's from the name MrBeast because you could go plant 20 trees in your yard and nobody's going to give a fuck.
Yeah.
But you should still do it. It's still okay to do. Go do what you need to do.
It definitely created a culture where it's like I need gratification and views and clicks and ad revenue to do anything good in the world because that is the precedent set by YouTube and all influencers, especially MrBeast.
But the way that he does YouTube is an absolute way for you to learn how to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but again, like then they see it's like, but Mr. Like I'll never be able to buy or not buy, but like look at $100 million car unless I do what MrBeast does exactly and have to
Like I had somebody
whatever.
ask me, they're like, "Do you think that Mr. Beast was lucky, or he just achieved at a level that most people don't understand. I think he achieved at a level most people don't understand. He broke it down to a science and then literally connected. And we've had this conversation off the show so many times of like, okay, where are we missing? What is hitting? What do we need to target? It's not complex. It is literally an algorithm that is very direct and very available for anybody to kind of go through. Why is it so hard that people genuinely just don't get it? It's steps. Look at the people before you. There are people that do things right and there are people that do things wrong. Okay, so where does that move? Then move it from there. It's steps. And there are so many people that do it wrong. That's where I think a lot of people kind of get the wrong sauce and they fall on their face.
Also, like, YouTube is so inorganic, though. Like, what would have happened if YouTube never shut down Leafy? Where would he be? If it was, like, regardless of, like, all the drama and everyone, like, making exposed videos about him and him kind of getting really, like, attacky and bad. But, like, if, like, he was on the front page. Like, I saw that video, Molly, on the front page, just pinned there for months until I finally clicked on it. I was like, oh, I'll watch some more other videos. It's actually a good show. It's like the organicness of it and everyone else watching that video when it was shown to them. The Red Hot Nickel Ball. When, like, that was the thing where it's just like,
Yep.
that's the only video you're going to see. So, like, YouTube manually throttled him, removed him, blacklisted him from the algorithm. So there are moments where it's like, where would that have gone? And that's
Yeah.
not as beneficial to the world and society as MrBeast.
But creating entertainment for people that are available to click it is the job that we have. So where does that line draw? And that I know it's probably not a good podcast topic, but it's interesting. It's interesting to hear other people question it, the watchers question it of like, okay, so what's the difference here? Where do I step? If I wanted to do this, how would I go? And it's like all of the answers are in front of you. None of those answers are right perfectly, but you could kind of get the sauce available. And if you're smart enough, you can do what Mr. Beast does. But copying him does not solve the equation.
Mm-hmm.
The equation changes.
Well, technically, YouTube's algorithm favors following the audience. So because MrBeast is so dominant, the only way you can now find discovery is by being a MrBeast clone. Nothing
And
organic is allowed.
Then by being a Mr. Beast clone and inorganic will remove all caring of your followers and viewership. So the second that you stray, they don't give a fuck about your personality. They're gone.
That's what YouTube's created. So that's what I mean, like, MrBeast now, and like you like I mean what I'm trying to get is like you can't say MrBeast was lucky because when he got his like big up, it was back when YouTube it was back when YouTube was organic. That was like scripted out because that's how I got so big because I'm like I know exactly what I can make, what I need to make, how it's going to grow, how it's going to perform. If I never got dislike botted and YouTube never shadow banned me, 2 million sub channel easy because like I'm on that path and then they're not playing games. But then what happens is they shadow ban me, they prop up other bad actor creators. That's the only thing because follow the audience, and now everything's a challenge.
I'm going to say something even crazier. You have U-pop, you have A-Drive pop, you have Shady pop, you have all those people pop at the same time within like a year of each other. About you have Nappy pop, all of Nappy Circle pops. Pokemon was blacklisted, not just you.
Nah, because like you look at the performance of a lot of channels.
It seems like after you got blacklisted, let me reword what I mean. It seems like you were kind of not.
I was definitely leading Pokemon.
All of those, but you're one of them.
No, I was literally the front runner because December 2016.
Your legs get cut out, everything falls. Not just plateaus, it drops to a different plateau that was there before. And then everybody kind of freezes until you get that pop again from A-Drive and you see his channel explode. And now it kind of froze until about now where the new group of them are kind of exploding and you see all that growth around them. It's interesting to me.
It's just objectively wrong. Because you just have to look at the other channels. Like when I fell down, then that's when Poketips came up and he was getting 2 to 10 million views on his videos.
I don't even know who that is.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter that you don't know. He was still getting millions. I think one of his videos hit 10 million. M and J, Michael, he's
Yep.
getting 500K to 10 million. Unlisted Leaf was also like the thing is I was the front runner, but the second I went down, everyone exploded.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
Well,
that like I got chopped and everything fell and then there was some spikes. No, like because that's now we have Pokemon challenges. Now we have Austin John. Now we have Wolfie, and they're getting Mondo views. Pokemon never got
yeah,
blacklisted.
and only one of them really deserves it, and I will be 100% and fucking say that. Out of those three guys that you just said, Pokemon challenges, Wolfie, and Austin John plays, one of them
None
puts
of them.
all of his time into the game.
No, he doesn't.
He puts a hell of a lot more time in than anybody other than you. You are one of those people that I can see is I live and breathe this game. And I respect that wholeheartedly. Jan actually does shit. From the stuff that he shows and streaming and how often he streams, I don't think Austin John plays or Wolfie puts in anywhere close to the time that he does.
No, Peach House, he created the entire meta that you hack in rare candies to skip the grind.
Oh, I agree. I understand your point of he doesn't. I understand where, but if you don't take in-game things and you take the time that he puts into the game of how much he streams, 8-9 hours a day, that's a lot of fucking time to be in fucking Kanto for the 1,000th time. Yeah, yeah, he does. He hacks in rare candies. I agree. But he's not, this is how I got a shiny today, and I hacked it in, and it was guaranteed. And I played for 10 minutes today and uploaded a video, and it's all scripted, and it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, those two levels of video are different. And I think we can agree to that.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, I agree with that. But the thing is, there's also other people working as hard with
Mhm.
1,000 subscribers, and then you'll see it's like, oh my god, this guy's on his like 50-second episode of a Let's Play that's like an hour long per episode, and he's got 20 views on each. I would say he grinds harder because he's not
Oh,
doing it for the views, for the representation.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I was saying out of those three people, the leads of Pokemon now, there's
Mhm.
one person out of those three that stick out with putting in the
He's
time,
still a
work,
fraud bad
and
actor, so
effort.
I zero credit.
Oh, I understand your point.
And
I'm just
also
saying that they're
he's
different.
building off of other people's work because like oh all the spreadsheeting and all these things that goes into nuzlocking and ROM hacks like yeah there's data miners and other people that are putting in more work than
I know
him
you
to create that.
I, I know you would never do it, but I would love to see you play one of those ROM hacks
Mm-hmm.
and just break it. Just see like Radical Red. I would love to watch you play Radical Red. Play a Nuzlocke of it and actually play it. If you don't want to do cheats, I get you and I understand. But I'd love to see you do it. But I understand why it's not valuable. I get it. Because that's a lot of fucking time and energy for something so focused. But at the same time, it would be interesting for you to be like, yeah, so everybody says that this game is almost impossible to beat, and I beat it with no cheats at all. Do you know how crazy that would be? That'd be flipping everybody the bird and being like, I did this without all the shit you guys say to make it easier. I understand your point of it being
Mm-hmm.
easy because you want it for content, but that's the same thing that everybody did and complained about in Call of Duty when you set up a 360 no scope at the end of your fucking montage.
Mm-hmm. Well, also the thing is that but I'd never get my due for it because people are like well he played it so he's a hypocrite therefore completely discredited on all of his achievements.
And I don't understand those points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you're you as a content creator was always, I'm gonna break the thing that's hard and I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do it because
min
fuck
max.
them. Yeah. You breaking these games of being like, okay, well, this works, this breaks this. Oh fuck, man. I would love watching that because your mind works in a different way than so many of these people. And that's where Jan actually understands the game. And that's where I give him his credit is like he gets it, he breaks it, and he breaks it willingly. He does do it the easy way. I'm not disagreeing
Well, I
in
mean
that.
he steals
I've said
someone
that.
else breaking it and then just adapts it with his experience.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's what
See,
most people do.
I'm
Like
a
if
trailblazer.
you
I
even if
groundbreak.
you
I
watch
create.
even if you watch Pokeaim, that's what Pokeaim's done for the past, 7-8 years. He goes on Smogon forums. Oh, this team hit rank 1. Let's see how this team works. You know what I'm saying? If you
Mhm.
go through and make every single team yourself, That's a lot of fucking time. But it would be so interesting to see you break that game and be like, if you have these 10 Pokemon, you can win a Nuzlocke. You lose any of them, you lose. And just break it down.
Hmm.
Because that's what he tried to do at the beginning of, okay, so I'm going to react to all of these people playing Nuzlocks, and I'm going to tell you exactly with my 8,000 hours of Nuzlocke experience, this is what you do. There's something there. I wish you would get the credit because it would be interesting to watch you break it,
Hmm.
because you do have a very, very analytical mind in that way.
Well, there's something there, and that's why my channel blew up before it got blacklisted, because I was just doing that for the real games, and it was grabbing a lot of attention because people
Mhm.
wanted that.
And now the eyes are on those challenge ROM hacks that fall
Because
so far into your
all the
lap.
official shit got shadow banned through me because I'm the only person not hacking. So you have no me, which means you have nothing legitimate.
And that
Everyone
was
else
my
gets
point.
promoted.
And that was my point, is like you develop that ground floor to everything of let's break it. Then you have people who just are like, I don't want to break it, I want it to be easy, coming in and breaking the things and being like, it's just math, it's just figuring it out.
Hmm.
Okay, I can't use items, how the fuck do I work this, how the hell do I do this, this doesn't die to this, I can't over level, this is what I need to do, and that's how I win. It's luck. You know what I'm saying? It's 75% skill. Figure it out. And I don't know. And that's probably my fandom of understanding exactly what I liked watching from you and watching now. Is, oh, it would be interesting. It'd be interesting for the Pokemon code cracker to come in and be like, okay, I cracked Nuzlocking. Can you stop?
Hmm.
And you just get your credit finally because I think you deserve it.
That is
And
an
that's not
idea
even
where
as a
it's,
friend.
yeah.
That's just that's me watching it and being like, I could see you just loving, just like Gray Zone. Oh, there's a code here, and cracking it will be fun.
Hmm.
What does this do? Because there's a code there, and there's a code there that you as a person, if you take the fakeness and the whole somebody else made this game away from it and look at it as Pokemon, that's up your alley. That's hard Pokemon. That's you.
I know, but
The
again, like
fact
no
that
one
it's a
give me credit, and also
yeah.
like even though what I did, no one in Smogon actually like acknowledges I have skill, even though I am like the goat. So it'd
Well,
be the
I
same
think
with Nuzlocking. It's like I'd be like, yeah, I broke it, and then they would just be like, nah. They would no one would share me. No one would say I did a good job. No one would do anything to promote it. They wouldn't give me any attention because if I get attention, then that means I killed Nuzlocking. So they already know how to cancel me and keep me canceled. That's the problem.
yeah. Well, that's the interesting thing is like what happens, because if it does get legs, and you're like, okay, minimize 6 times and everything's a coin flip. Okay, that doesn't work every time. You know it doesn't work every time. It's a coin flip. So you lose your chancey with minimize, and all of a sudden, how do you work back from that? Or is the run dead? Because you can't have such a small margin to where your chancey is the only reason you're able to get out of this.
Hmm.
So you have to have the availability of those things. And that's
Also, the
just,
interesting thing is
my
like,
autism.
well, actually, no. I just realized I don't have to do this Pokemon because I'm actually doing that with Pal World right now.
I know you are. I know
I'm
you
doing
are.
no crafting runs. I'm beating Griswold in 2 hours.
What?
I'm theory crafting a route that gets me level 30 in 4 hours. I'm close.
But you see my point? With how many eyes go on Radical Red a day? What is a Verlisify Nuzlocke, whether hardcore or normal? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially with how people are doing the deck snap Nuzlocks now, because the game's so hard, you have to choose your choice. That's interesting because you're like, okay, there's 1,000 different possible ways this route goes. What possible things do I need before Brock? What possible things do I need before Surge? And then you fill them out. If you fuck up and you lose something that you needed instead of saving it, I don't know. I love that content, and your mind for it is so crazy
Hmm.
because it would be interesting to watch you be like, okay, this is broken. I randomized all the abilities, and this fucking weird thing blew up, and I got huge power on fucking Reggie Gigas. So now, as long as I don't get one shot, I win the game. Fuck, I got one shot. How the fuck do I fix this? Because now I only built for this one fucking thing to run everything. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, but then like also a big reason why like I get a lot of motivation from content when it's actually performing and getting Like
Yeah.
that thing is like, wait, that means people are learning from me, and that's what I want to do. I want to teach. I don't want someone because like the thing about Wolves fans and Challenges fans, they don't do that themselves. They project, they watch, they don't want to work for their things, they don't want to earn anything, and then it's just kids watching garbage content. So that's why like
And
if it's that's not
that's why I see them
portraying.
as two different things.
Mhm.
Wolf takes money from other people. Challenges makes his life easier by overdoing things, and he admits it, which is nice. That is step one. Saying, hey, I do this for content. I make it easier on myself so that way I can make more content.
Still
That is
clickbait
step one.
manipulation to me.
Oh, clickbait. Absolutely. I don't disagree there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, none of his titles
But,
are "I used rare candies to beat this
oh,
Nuzlocke"
but
because that
he
would get
openly
zero
says it,
views.
which is like step
That's why it's clickbait
step
because
one.
you have to click to find out.
Yeah.
No one would watch his video from the start if they knew it was rare candies.
Well, nobody would absolutely understand or accept anything, you know, if you openly said that you had a small dick and all of a sudden that wasn't accepted. So you posted this story in our chat about there being no body acceptance from men. And that to me made a lot of fucking sense. And I was like, wait, fuck, that really is real. Even with how far the world has come with like body acceptance and shit and fat shaming being banned and everybody being kicked for that shit. Even dudes with dad bods are still like the fringe want. It's not like, oh yeah, dude, you got a dad bod, you got a fucking beer gut. All the women are all over you. No, because there's still the quote about the three sixes. Dude, if we said you needed to have three D's, you'd be banned. You'd be banned. You're not allowed to say that. Oh, I have to have the three sixes to even have a chance for a chick who has 9 kids, has been on welfare her entire life, and sleeps out of her grandpappy's trailer. I have to have $100,000 a year to get that, but yet I can't have a beer gut or a dick that's 3 inches. It's funny. It's so funny that everything has to be accepted from other people, but fuck whatever the fuck you are.
Also, I think
It's
that's
crazy to
creating a
me.
lot of incels because, everyone with a tiny one is going on uh, Reddit. How can I do this? How can I make up for this? How? And then all
Not
the
only that,
replies. Wait. And all the replies are size doesn't matter. And then they get out into the real world, and their reality is bad.
mhm, and the crazier thing is they will tell you that nothing matters. Okay, but if nothing matters, size doesn't matter. Why are most dildos over the size of 6 inches? Size doesn't matter, but you're above average in accepting regardless,
Size doesn't matter unless you're under 6 feet.
unless you're not available to do this or not available to do that. The world has gotten so insanely direct with things. They look at things of, okay, well, this does this and this makes this happen. Do I know what makes that happen? You watching porn every day. Your confidence not being there. Every single person that sits there and just stares at a screen with a black and orange logo in the top, you're making that more acceptable by everybody. You're invalidating yourself. You're saying, I'm not that. Guess what? Most people aren't that. The average is about the size of your fucking thumb if you're a big fucking dude. That's crazy, isn't it?
Well, like you mean the thumb, like including
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. I
Most
mean,
women want more than average, which means they're swinging for 40% of the dating pool. Isn't that weird?
mhm.
No, because you're so fucking consumed by what the fuck you see on a screen. Whether you're cheating on ROM hacks and making your life easy, realizing you're not big enough to satisfy anybody, so you stop trying it all. This world is going to hell. So you got to make sure that you go through and you feel as confident as possible. Make sure not to use any sugar, drink your Gfuel, get extremely fucking fit and eat your factor meals, go work out, feel fucking better. Because honestly, at this point, if we don't, we're all going to end up fucking shallow shells of our former self. Don't accept crazy bitches like the one in our comments that are so narcissistic that they have their head shoved up their own ass. And make sure to Go fucking play Gray Zone. We're gonna be there. Go have some fun. We'll see you fucking later.